I am inclined. When I'm alone, I see you in the dark. When I'm alone, I always feel like someone is watching me. When I'm alone, I'd rather be with people. I see you in the dark. When I'm alone, I occasionally make coffee in the morning. I also bread and butter, something like cottage cheese and cranberry jam. I also love the morning spaces. I always feel I let it all out like someone is watching me. I relish it when I'm alone. I'd rather be with people. I am not alone. When I'm alone, I just cry. When I'm alone, I see you in the dark. I feel safe. When I'm alone, I always feel joy. I let it all out to me. I feel safe. When I'm alone, I'd rather be with people. When I'm alone, I am not alone. I enjoy. When I'm alone, I usually make coffee in the morning and a sandwich. I'm not alone. I'm inclined. Something like cottage cheese and cranberry jam. I am happy. I see you in the dark. When I'm alone, I let it all out. I can sleep. I feel safe. I am happy. When I'm alone, I feel a certain void. When I'm alone, I enjoy. I can sleep. Love the wide spaces. I want to be with others. I feel a certain void. When I not speak, I close my eyes and breathe deeply. I want to be with others. When I'm alone, I'm alone. I close my eyes like a day old and breathe deeply. I enjoy reading. I can sleep. I always feel cry when I'm alone. I'm inclined. I feel a certain void when I'm alone. I'd rather be with people. I allow my creativity. I burst out. I want to be with others. I usually make coffee in the morning when I'm alone. I close my eyes. My creativity breathe deeply when I'm alone. I can sleep when I'm alone. I try when I'm alone. Like a day old. I feel a certain void when I'm alone. I always eat at a beautiful table with one setting because I want to please myself. When I'm alone, I close my eyes. I allow and breathe deeply to entertain. I've had some of my best ideas and moments of clarity. I would really appreciate some help. I feel dry like a day-old glass of water. I create better things. When I'm alone, I'm more focused. I would really appreciate a beautiful table. I burst out one setting because I want to please myself. I create better things. I am more focused. I allow my creativity to entertain me. I've had some of my best ideas. I've been that way of clarity since I was a child. I try. When I'm alone, I cry. I am happy. I have an intuition. I always eat. I would really appreciate some help that I make. Because I want to please myself. I cry. I create better things. I feel a certain void. I've had some of my best ideas and moments. I've been that way. I do want to be with others. When I'm alone, I do not feel lonely. When I'm alone, I would really appreciate some help. When I'm alone, I create better things. I am more focused. When I'm alone. I'm surrounded by the glory of the universe. I've been that way since I first was a child. When I'm alone, I do not feel I am. I'm surrounded by the glory of the universe that I am creating. I do a lot. Start listening to music really loud. Sing at the top of my lungs and dance. I try. When I'm alone, I like to play. I start listening to music really loud. Sing at the top of my lungs. I always eat at a beautiful table. I read. When I'm alone, because I want to please myself. I like to play. When I'm alone, afraid to talk. Surrounded by the glory of the universe that I have created. I do a lot of thinking. I've had some of my best ideas and moments of clarity.
When I'm alone,
I'm afraid to talk.
when I'm
hear
alone.
your whisper.
when I'm alone, I'm alone.
I start listening to music really loud.
I'm alone.
Sing at the top of my lungs. Dance. I'm not lonely.
When I'm alone, when I'm alone, when I'm alone.
I like to play. I create better things. I'm surrounded by the glory of the universe that I have created. I read.
When I'm alone, when I'm
I've been that
alone.
way since
When I'm alone.
I was a child. I'm afraid to talk.
When I'm alone,
I start listening to music really loud, sing at the top of my lungs, and dance.
when I'm alone,
I like to play. I cry.
when I'm alone,
I don't have
when
to
I'm
worry.
alone, I'm alone, when I'm alone.
I simply like to read with my own thoughts.
when I'm alone,
I don't really go
when
to
I'm alone, when
cafes
I'm
or
alone,
coffee
when
shops.
I'm
I'm afraid to talk. I don't have to worry. I do not
when I'm
feel
alone,
lonely.
when I'm
I
alone,
realize
when I'm alone, when I'm
I don't
alone.
really go to
when I'm
cafes. I do a
when
lot
I'm
of
alone,
things
when
all
I'm
by
alone.
myself. Lonely. I move as slowly as I want to.
When I'm alone, when I'm alone,
I hear
I'm
your
alone.
whisper.
when I'm
I
alone,
feel okay. I
I'm
simply
alone.
like to sit
when I'm
and read
alone,
the questions out loud.
when I'm
I
alone.
feel
when I'm alone,
I'm
alone.
happy. I don't have to
I'm
worry.
alone,
I feel
I'm
okay. I realize
When I'm
I'm
alone,
surrounded by
I'm
the
alone.
glory of the
I'm
universe
not
that
such
I
a
have. I don't
weak
really
being.
go to
When I'm
cafes or
alone.
coffee shops.
I'm
all by
happy.
myself. I move as
When I'm
slowly as
alone.
I want to. I see you. I am
When
in the
I'm
dark.
alone,
I am not such a weakling.
when I'm alone,
I read the questions out
when I'm
loud.
alone,
I think.
when I'm alone, when I'm alone,
I like to play. I
When
couldn't
I'm
describe
okay.
it better.
when I'm
I
alone,
watch.
when I'm
I don't really
alone,
go
I'm
to
alone.
cafes or coffee shops all by myself. I'm happy. I need to be able to focus on each task. I'm afraid to talk. I watch. I am not such a weakling.
When I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone.
I read the questions
I'm
without
alone.
to be able to
I'm
focus. I
alone.
see each task without in the dark. Lonely.
I'm alone. When I'm alone,
I feel okay.
I'm
I couldn't
alone.
describe it better. I sometimes will find a spot that has
when I'm
great
alone,
light. I think I'm happy.
when I'm alone, when I'm alone, when I'm alone.
I crave. I used to do this regularly.
I'm
Companionship. I realize
when I'm alone.
I used to do this regularly.